Alrighty, welcome to the channel and to the 2026 layout tour. This is New Year's Day 2026 now, so figure we got it to where it's running. All the track is finally done and everything is running pretty nicely, so not too sure what style of layout this is, if it has a name. Mind the stuff everywhere, shmoo everywhere. It is definitely a construction site still at bits and pieces. I just finally got it going how I'd like it. So it's a modular, 3 sections, 1, 2 and 3, and it goes in this rack. They each slide in there so you can pack it away and it only takes up that much room. So with that in mind, it's designed to come apart like that, and so that does give you some limitations, makes some things a bit interesting. So obviously you got joins, and it's pretty much all Cardo uni tracks, and there's some Tomics track on there, and then there's also some flex track like right here, but there's very minimal flex track. Only really used it for straight bits. Kind of the bridge is flex track, the harbour side is flex track, that little bit over there, and some that was already on it when I got this layout. So I bought this used. It's got this little piece just right there and this line as well that wraps around. So this was a layout, and it was made mostly for trams. Let me show you. So I rebuilt this entire middle section completely, started again. I'll show you the old one. Alright, so this was the old original centre section. It had double bridges across here of the Cardo truss bridge, and it had multiple straight tracks at the back there, and then it's got these ones here that are built into the road and flush in the road running type tracks as well. So interesting. Some of these were separate lines, and then also this had already been rebuilt once upon a time. Anyway, so I was going to use that, and it had a big hill right here where this white patch is, and I was like, I can put tracks there. I dug that hill off, and then it has a big bow in the middle, and then I looked underneath, and it's just like, you know what, I'm best off to just start completely again. So, and he's also got infrared for automatic running, infrared sensors and stuff, which I don't understand. He was into trams, this guy. Credit to him, really nice job, good layout. Back to mine. Okay, so here's my centre section, which I guess it kind of runs along the same sort of theme, but there wasn't enough room on that, and I want to put my bridge. That was the main reason for building this layout, was that I built this bridge, 3D printed it, designed it and printed it all myself on Tinkercad, and it's self-supporting suspension bridge, so it actually has no steel or anything in it, and you can see that it relies on tension, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, I was like, well, I need to put that on there, so it's quite large and came with a lot of challenges. Anyway, so I made the center section out of a bit of frame and blue foam mostly, but then the harbour had to be lowered because I wanted the harbour as deep as possible, because then it makes your bridge look as tall as possible. And this is Nscalien, obviously, as we can see, so there's still there's a few container handling equipment in the harbour at the minute. And then I got the container ship. So it holds 125 containers. I designed and 3D printed this as well. We'll get there, finish it off and stuff like that, but it's pretty cool. Its name is Cos, after my mother, and then it's got my name built into the side of it. So anyway, my first go at doing water, and I used the old toilet paper and glue trick, make all the waves. They come out really good, just really happy with that. And then just blue. I'm not going to do the resin. Seems like a lot of work, the old resin. It's got sand So again, because it's removable and it needs to pack away in here, the bridge comes out extremely easy. So it's held in each end in these brick pylons, and those are firmly attached to the layout. And then we got the Cardo bits that slide. Oh, what do you call them? There's heaps of them on this. Pretty much every join has them, the sliding bits. So you can slide all of the tracks back, and then you can take the layout apart through here, and also through right there. So I tried to also set those so they're not all in line and directly over the join where it could be maybe misaligned. I set them back here with straight bits of track to go to the joins. So anyway, I got the Mad Bridge. It's going to be good. Got the little lookouts, and that's meant to be, you know, based on the Golden Gate. Love the old Golden Gate Bridge. So it's inspired by that. Nothing is scale, you know, fussy. Anyway, so then we got along here, the harbour track is on arches. Meant to be like concrete arches just because they look cool. And at the bottom of those, they've got little square bricks, each one. So that's awesome. All 3D printed, all of that. And then there's little spaces in the sides there where you can run some wiring and other stuff. So then we've got a submarine base, something a bit different. And it's somewhere else, the building for that. I'll get into that another time. But we have a model of the Kursk, world famous Russian submarine, the Kursk. So that's a bit of a tribute to that, and it hides in there nice and sneaky. And that's pretty much it that's going on at the harbour at the minute. Now this bridge is fully lit, has lights that run along all inside of it, and also point down, and also this right here is a red light, so that's cool. So the last bit that I only just added today, yesterday I think it was this switch here, turnout. What are we calling them? Type it in the comments below. Are they switches? Are they turnouts? Anyway, so this is something I've been pondering, where to put it, how to put it. Do I want it? I kind of want it to make the layout so as that it's universal and whatnot, and not just its own standalone thing. So this is where trains can come and leave, and come onto and leave the layout, so I can build more tracks, more layouts and whatnot, and have trains coming and going onto and off of the layout. So that's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully I'll get some like shelf run around the room type of layout. So that's the most recent thing, and it was a bit of a, you know, do I, don't I, have to cut the track, don't wreck it. Well, it worked out quite great, you know, turned out really good. So down by the harbour, which has not been a lot of much progress working on the actual harbour itself necessarily, because A, don't need it yet, and B, I've been doing all the stuff. So it's been important to start with the tables. Had to rebuild everything, absolutely everything, from the formwork of the table all the way up. Like, even replace all the wood with nice thick Meranti, and I still use the original hinges and stuff, but yeah, you can see shim. So I'm gonna have to rebuild the bottom part too one day soon. But anyhow, that's good. So then we got this little building right here. Don't know if it has a name. Railway Express Agency, it says on there, so that's cool. Anyway, this little building's pretty sneaky. It's taken a little bit of trimming, trimmed all the lip of it and stuff like that, and the thing, so that it can clear the track gauging. But, I don't know if it does or not. But anyway, it's nothing inside or anything like that. But it covers this, right? So this is the, it's a serial port cord, but it goes to the shipping container crane. And then I put a power switch for it in there as well. Runs on 12 volts. So that covers that. So that's awesome. I'm really, really happy with that. Nice and neat. And the container crane, why does it need power cord? Because it's powered and drives. So you can see on a different video on the channel of operating that just the other day. So that is the center module really. That's all flush, like it's built into the foam. It's in there so it's flush with the surface because it's all the whole mechanism under there. And then we got flex track across the top of that, and it's not really attached. This sort of is a tiny bit more. I nailed it down. I'm going to put a few more nails in this one to keep it square and parallel so it looks really nice and neat and tidy. And when it comes to unloading all the containers, and then I have all the little bloody forklifts and everything like that, you know, make it really cool. It's sort of what my main focus is, the shipping containers. Right, print them all out. It's mad. So I'll get the container yard looking good intermodal. So it's quite long. It's a good third of the layout dedicated to the intermodal port and everything like that. So we've got a single main line, but twin loops. What do you call that? Double loop, separate power sources, so we can run independently an internal loop, and then the external loop runs across the bridge. So we'll start here anyway. We'll show you where you can go. You can go off the bridge, and we're over the stone. It's not a bulkhead. What do you call that on a bridge? Buttress, is it? Anyway, and then we're into arches again of the same design kind of thing. These ones are double. There's a gap in the middle of them. That one actually needs a bit more gluing. The rest of them should be all glued. These ones along here on a piece of timber. A little bit of ply, and that's screwed down so it keeps it nice and straight. So a lot of work getting your bloody track straight, I'll tell you what. So when your train goes along it, it doesn't get no wobbles, it doesn't get no bloody ups, downs, sideways. As you can see, look, there's a kink right there, still a tiny, tiny bit. And then the bridge itself was all bloody curved, and the approach to the nightmare, absolute nightmare to get nice. These, as far as being vertical, being horizontal, being bloody twisted, being parallel, perpendicular, all of that. Anyway, so that's cool. So we come off there and we're coming around this corner. Hopefully this will all be inside of a mountain, I reckon. Haven't really decided, but I'd like big mountains at each end, and don't want to see the train the entire time. I want it to go into a tunnel. Now there is a tunnel somewhere made for this bit. Not sure. Yeah, there it is. So the tunnel entrance is going to be like this here, T-Rex skull or something, whatever it is, dinosaur skull tunnel entrance. But I want it to sort of blend into rocks and whatnot, so it doesn't stand out as being a dinosaur skull at first glance, right? So it kind of looks like a rocks. Okay, we're following along the outer track now. We split into three. So there's three yardage, is it called yardage? Storage tracks. Basically, well, there's one and there's two fucking separate ones off to the side, right? Sidings. Got two sidings on each, so there's six sidings altogether for two loops, two different powers, so three each, right? Does that make sense? And they're each individually switched, and we'll get to that bit in a minute. So we'll just stick to the outside, and it just runs the entire way along. Got the 16 car Shinkansen. And yeah, oh, we're here now. So this one splits into three, the outer loop. It's these three here. Okay, and then we've got this double crossover. So this is where it allows it to go to the inside loop, to the outside loop, or anything in between, right? Can join it into one folded figure eight, or just swap trains in and out. So I've painted all of the rails with the rusty look, and then I've just last night done all the ballast, and the ballast is good. You get crusher dust, and then you sieve it, and you get two different grades. I haven't really used this big chunky, but that's alright. Huge job. Hard not to get inside all of the mechanisms for the switches. Look, there's some in there. You can see it in there. But anyway, I was very, very, very lucky. I covered it all up with masking tape and stuff, but still, so annoying. And if now that it's in there, ballasted and everything, it looks cool. I'm really, really happy how that turned out. Really nice, so that's good. I want everything to look pretty old and dilapidated, not necessarily nice and new. Anyway, so then we got the tunnel. So the tunnel's something that I designed and 3D printed as well on Tinkercad, and with the Ender 3. Got the old couple of Enders over there. And yeah, it's really cool. Oh, I love it because it's got multiple different textures on there and stuff. So we've got this red brick, which is a small brick. And then we got this here, large blocks. And then it's also got the capstones for that. And I've only just started sort of painting it and stuff, giving it some weather so it doesn't look all brand new. And then we got some natural rock wall there. That's the idea of that. So that's just blue foam still carved to look like rocks. And it's all in undercoat, I guess. And then we got like the round tunnel, which is like a modern style, but then we've also put some like windows into it. I can't really see them that good, but anyhow. And then up in here we got just like the small brick again, just punched through, and there's three tracks go straight into that there. It's pretty cool. And then this one on the outside goes into something a bit different, which is nice. Also, it comes out something a bit different. There's not all that much tunnel there, right? So that's cool. And then 3 more come out in this with a different kind of brick again. And it's painted all nice and dark in there. Made it all like black. And then there's also a turnout up in here. And so that one comes out over there, obviously. Alright, cruising right along. Okay, so we just go down here. Nothing really much happens. It's just 3 straight tracks. And then they join back up here. Turnouts again. And then we got a re-railer. Okay, and then we start going on the grade at this point. So it's 3%. It's exactly 3% grade. I was very fussy about it. I've got a meter rule and I've got stuff like that. Alright, so we're going to have to hurry up. And then we got the shark head tunnel. So this end's going to have a shark heads for a tunnel. And this one's going to stand out a little bit more perhaps than the other one. But anyway, pretty fun. Watching trains come in and out, and then that's it. It goes back around, back across the old arches and up to the bridge again. So pretty fun layout. Let's bloody watch this 16-car Shinkansen Series 0. So the very first Shinkansen. Let's see if we can't get it going, eh? What's happening? Turn those off, turn this one on. Yeah. So Shinkansen by Kato only has one power car. It's not the lead or the rear, it's the second car there. So it does struggle. Oh, lucky, look at that. Oh my God, bloody left 2 things. Alright, so there you go. So that's going to be it for the first layout tour. We'll come back and we'll do one of the inner loop and show you a few more of the features here and there. Because I know it's been 20 minutes and we didn't get very far. So, I don't know. I guess there's heaps going on. There's a fair bit happening. This and that. So I'll show you some more later. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like in the comments, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.